Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live, and we are 9 short days from the NFL regular season kicking off. So I thought I'd do my week 1 survivor video. We'll take a look at the schedule, we'll take a look at the survivor grid, and decide who are some of the best choices to take. So without further ado, let's get into it. It's via ESPN, the week 1 schedule. Thursday night, banger. Baltimore Ravens at Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, how can you touch that one? Ravens had the best regular season record last year. Chiefs, two-time defending Super Bowl champions. Should be a great game. Friday night, Packers at Eagles. The Eagles are the small favorites. But if we go by the end of last season, Green Bay was the far better team as Philadelphia faded, and Green Bay ascended and even won their first round matchup against the Cowboys. Nonetheless, they're on the road. Can't really touch that. Sunday schedule. Pittsburgh at Atlanta. Kirk Cousins debut for the Falcons. Russell Wilson hasn't been announced QB1 yet, but most people believe he will. His debut for the Steelers. Falcons improved their defense with some trades as well. Matthew Judon. But, we'll say Steelers always find a way to win these early games, even if they look like the inferior team. Arizona at Buffalo. A lot of people might look at this game as a team to take. Buffalo's going to be playing New England twice later in the season. That might be a better time. I mean, I just think about what Buffalo did last year in the first week when Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the beginning. You would think Zach Wilson versus Josh Allen, complete mismatch. Well, the Jets won that game, so you never know. Tennessee at Chicago. Caleb Williams debut for the Bears. Will Jeffrey Simmons get to him and force pressure? Aljarius Sneed. Um, Tennessee debut for him as well. I think Tennessee is one of those teams that are slightly underrated. Like, no one's giving them a chance. And, I'll admit Will Levis probably is one of the worst starting quarterbacks at the moment. But I think they could hang in this one. New England at Cincinnati, another game people might be looking at. Not sure who's going to be the week 1 starter yet. It seems like it might be Jacoby Brissett. But either way, Brissett's a fighter. He's a guy who's always battled with Cleveland, previously with New England, but Cincinnati, Joe Burrow healthy. Trey Hendrickson should make whatever quarterback have a living nightmare by getting into the backfield. Houston at Indianapolis. This is Anthony Richardson's comeback. So two quarterbacks drafted early in the first round in 2023. Of course, it was the last week matchup last year for the AFC South, won by Houston. Gardner Minshew was the quarterback then. Jacksonville at Miami. Some people might look to this. Very tough battle of two Florida teams. Jacksonville faded late, much like Philadelphia, but Philadelphia at least made the playoffs. Jacksonville looked like they were easily going to take the AFC South and did not. Carolina at New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans looks like the better team on paper, but they don't look like a great team either. So, tough team to take there. Minnesota at New York. I'm a Giants fan, man. The spread is even. That's kind of crazy when it's Sam Darnold we're going against, but uh, as a Giants fan, I predicted no more than 6 or 7 wins. How can you touch this game? You can't. Las Vegas at the Chargers. I mean, a lot of people are doubting the Raiders as well, but I really liked how they played under Antonio Pierce last year. Of course, Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL for the Chargers. I'm interested to see who will be their bell cow back, at least to start the season. Will it be Gus Edwards or will it be J.K. Dobbins? Broncos at Seahawks. Um, Seahawks, one of the bigger favorites of the week. Bo Nix debut. But I don't see the Seahawks as one of those upper echelon teams where you could be certain that they will win. Cowboys at Browns. Uh, Deshaun Watson's had what? Arm tiredness, shoulder tiredness. Will he be ready week one? Will that even matter? Would they be better off with Jameis Winston? And I'm someone who, thought Watson was awesome, but Houston, still waiting to see it with Cleveland, though. Dallas was able to get that long term deal with CeeDee Lamb, but will he be up to speed by week one? Washington at Tampa Bay. Um, Kind of surprised the spread is only that big, but maybe gamblers are 3 point spread. Gamblers believe in Jaden Daniels' season debut, who will be their wide receiver too now that they traded Jahan Dodson to the Philadelphia Eagles. Our Sunday night football game, Rams at Lions, rematch of the opening round of the NFC playoffs last year, which was won by the Lions in a close game. Of course, Stafford coming back to Detroit again. Lions look like a slightly better team on paper and two of the better young coaches. I mean, well, yeah, I'd consider both of them young for coaching. So it should be a fun matchup. And then our Monday night game, Aaron Rodgers, let's see if he plays his first full game with the Jets at the 49ers. Definitely not an easy game and another hard one to take. Let's take a look at the Survivor grid. So clearly, the top choice is the Bengals. 40.6% are taking them, and obviously, spreads in the future. It's hard to tell, how much they'll stay. But right now, that is the Bengals game where they are the biggest favorite. Meanwhile, Buffalo is bigger favorites against Tennessee and New England at home later in the year, but they are still taken by 14.3%. The Saints tank it by 9.2% against the Panthers. I can't trust them. And the Seahawks 7.1% against Denver. Those are the top four. I mean, the Niners 5% over the Jets, but uh, Brock Purdy had his struggles against Baltimore, and the Jets do look like one of the better defenses, so won't be easy for him. I have to agree with the majority. I don't necessarily always like taking the chalk, but I have to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. One thing I've always said with my survivor picks is that I don't like getting cute. I don't like saying, all right, let's hold off on this team. They play this team this week, this team this week. Your main goal has to be to advance to the next week. Worry about, um, the week's matchups the following week. If you get too involved about trying to save teams certain weeks, the NFL is too unpredictable where you could be out early and you could be out early really any way you go about this. But let's see if the Bengals can come through for me. Let me know your choices if you're going with someone else in week one, and I'll see you for week two Survivor. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.